Hello everyone. In this lecture we will discuss about logical and physical address mapping. Okay. So normally this logical address is generated by CPU when a program is about to execute. And this generated logical address by CPU is for secondary memory only. Okay. So this is the theory part. We will see this with an example. So let us discuss about this example. As we all know, this is the CPU, and in the CPU registers will be there. This is the cache memory, this is the RAM, okay, and this is the secondary memory. This secondary memory can be of anything like magnetic tape, hard disk, pen drive, or anything, okay. So programs will be present here, okay. Whenever you want to execute a program which is there in the hard disk, that has to be loaded into the RAM. After loading into the RAM, then only CPU will access the RAM to execute the programs. Okay, so every time when you wanted to execute any program, that program have to be loaded into the main memory. Okay, RAM is nothing but main memory. It is also called as physical memory. So CPU will be accessing all the programs from the RAM to execute. Okay, this is the secondary memory. I have also discussed in my previous video. You can watch my previous video. Okay, this is how it will be there. So in logical and physical address mapping, this CPU will be generating logical address to the secondary memory. Okay, so in this total memory there will be a program. Okay, so many programs will be there. So for each and every program, address will be given, and that address is provided by the CPU. Whatever the address is provided by CPU to the secondary memory is called logical address. Okay, and in the RAM there will be separate address because it is a main memory. Okay, so if you shift this program into the main memory, the address of the same program will be different in the main memory because main memory address and secondary memory address is different. Secondary memory consists of logical address and main memory consists of physical address. So CPU will execute programs from the RAM only. CPU will access from the RAM only, and secondary memory also program will be loaded into the main memory. So CPU have to know the address of both main memory and virtual secondary memory. Okay, so mapping have to be done in order to execute a program by the CPU. Okay, so how it will be seen, we will see with the another diagram. Okay, this is the theory part for your exams. You can take a screenshot of it. Okay, here logical and physical address mapping is done. As I already told you, this is the secondary memory, this is the main memory, and this is the CPU. This is the relocation register which is used to map the logical address and physical address. Okay, so main memory consists of physical address. Secondary memory consists of logical address, and this logical address is generated by CPU. But CPU will be executing programs by accessing the main memory. So there is a problem with the different addresses. Okay, so to avoid this confusion to CPU when it want to execute the program, what it will do is, let us think here my program is there, and my program consists of some 50 lines, 50 instructions program is there, and for that 50 instruction, the first instruction will start with the address of 200, 200. Okay, and from 200 to 250, I have some 50 lines instructions are there in my program, and that program resides in the secondary memory. Okay, from 200 to 250. Okay, so if I want to execute that program, it has to be loaded into the main memory. So now program is loaded into the main memory. Soon after loading into the main memory, the address will be changed because here in the main memory physical address will be there. Okay, so here the main memory starts with some different address. So if a CPU want to execute, as CPU executes line by line instruction, if CPU want to execute some 245 line or 245 instruction, then it will check the 245 instruction in the main memory. But in the main memory, the 245 instruction will not be there because 245 address is the logical address which is there in the secondary memory. In main memory, different address will be there, that is physical address. So if CPU want to execute 245 instruction, that will be not there in the main memory. Then CPU will get confused. In order to avoid that, it uses relocation register. Okay, normally when it comes to arrays, if you know the base address, then it will be easy for everything to find out, I mean line by line address. Okay, in arrays, that is possible in arrays, whereas here it will be little difficult. So that is why, in order to avoid this confusion of logical address and physical address, relocation register is used. Okay, so what happens in relocation register? It stores the address, physical address of the main memory. Well, this consists of physical address, and relocation register stores the base address of the main memory. So if I know the base address, okay, let us think that main memory base address is some 8000. Okay, main memory base address is 8000. CPU want to execute 245 instruction, that is logical address. Okay, so in order to execute this 245 line, CPU will access the relocation registers and find out the main memory base address, that is 8000. So what it will do? It will place with 245. So it becomes 8245. So the 8245 line and 8245 line in main memory and 245 line in the secondary memory is same. Those addresses are, whatever the instruction is there in both addresses is same now. So this is how CPU will map the logical address and physical address, and it will execute the instructions line by line. Okay, so you can take the screenshot of this theory part. Okay, so logical address is generated by CPU while a program is running, and the logical address is virtual address as it does not exist physically. Therefore, it is also known as virtual address. This address is used as a reference to access the physical memory location by the CPU. The term logical address space is used for the set of all logical address generated by a program's perspective. So all programs which have to be executed have to be given with the logical address and also the physical address. The hardware device called main memory unit is used for mapping logical address to its corresponding physical address. In the main memory management unit only, relocation register will be present, which helps in mapping the logical address to physical address. Okay. Physical address identifies the physical location of the required data in the memory. The user never directly deals with the physical address but can access by its corresponding logical address. User always will be given authority to access the secondary memory but not the main memory. So always user will deal with the logical address, not the physical address. Physical address is dealt by CPU only. Okay. So this is all the theory part. You can read it out or you can take a screenshot of it. Okay. This is the comparison of logical address and physical address. This also you can take a screenshot. Okay. This is how mapping is done between logical and physical addresses. Thank you.